The Ramayana has been for millions of men, women and children over hundreds of centuries the perennial source of solace during sorrow, vitality when floored by vacillation, illumination while confounded, inspiration in moments of dejection, and guidance when caught in the quandaries of life.
Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram.
The divine name Rama is a curative corpuscle in the bloodstream of mankind, which can cure all ills. And Sai Rama has himself come again to tell us the story of this epic, wherein he took on the role of Rama. Over the next 9 episodes, we endeavor to visualize the Rama Katha through the kaleidoscope of Sai Bhajans.
Shri Raghavam Dasharathatmajam Aprameyam Sitapatim Raghukulanvaya Ratnadipam Ajanubahum Aravinda Dalayatакsham Ramam Nishachara Vinashakaram Namami Namami Rame
Sri Sai Ram, offering my most humble pranams at Bhagwan's divine lotus feet. Esteemed elders, dear brothers and sisters, loving Sai Ram to all of you. Rama, what a beautiful name. We also call Rama Atma Rama, the indweller. When we read the scriptures, whether it is Ramayana, Mahabharata, or even Sai Bhagavatam, we try to relate our life with these scriptures so that we can inspire ourselves to be good. I used to wonder, who is this indweller? Intellectually, we can understand indweller, Atma Rama, but what is it to feel like an indweller? With Swami's grace, in this place, if you pray anything to Bhagwan, you should be ready to receive the experience. And he also blesses you with the insight. Last year, around this time, in the month of April, during the entrance examination of our university, where the students from all over India come, I was blessed with a very unique experience where I had a feel of what an indweller means. For all the students from across all the stream, they're supposed to write one exam, which is English. Only if they clear the English paper, they can go through that paper. And there's one section in the English paper, which is essay writing, a 10 marks essay writing, which is for 15 minutes. And just before the entrance exam was about to commence, at the last moment, one candidate enters with a fractured right hand. So the invigilators were searching for a scribe, a person who would write on behalf of this student. One of the invigilators called me, and before I knew, I was writing this 10 marks essay for the student. And English has always been one of my favorite subjects, especially essay writing, where you can show all your creativity. And here I was sitting with the pen in front of that student, and I was waiting for him to say, because as per the rules, you're not supposed to add extra word or write less, including comma, full stop. You're just supposed to write what he says. And in that 15 minutes, I could see that I knew the topic very well. I had lots of ideas which I wanted to express, but I was waiting for this boy to tell one sentence, and even if he repeats the sentence, I had to write the same sentence again. This went on for 15 minutes. At the end of 15 minutes, I looked at that paper. It was my handwriting. I had written that essay with this hand, but I knew it is not mine. I was not satisfied. I came out of the examination hall. I was a bit frustrated. I was a bit upset. It was quite ironical. It was not my paper. But there is so much of doership in all of us. The doership is so subtle that even if it is not my work, I assume the role of doership. And suddenly, like a flash, an insight came from within. I was there for just 15 minutes. In that, I felt so much of impatience, just because I knew I had the ability to write a good essay, which I thought, what about our Atma Rama, our Sai Rama, who's there within each one of us? And this is not some 15 minutes or 1 hour thing. It is, he's there inside us 24/7, 365 days throughout our life. Just imagine his impatience when he looks at our thought, our word, our deed. If you were to see it from that perspective, you'll realize how patient our beloved Lord is. They say we have this animal nature, this human nature, this divine nature. Most of us oscillate between this animal nature and the human nature. And the divine nature, the divinity within us, waits not for one birth, for several births, waiting that one day this person's mind will turn towards divinity and it will make a conscious effort to realize. So in this way, Swami gave me a very brief experience of what it means to be an indweller. Then I was wondering, why is it so difficult to turn towards our divine nature? They say talent is God's gift to us, but what we do with that talent is our gift back to God. In fact, Swami says talent is God itself. So I was thinking, whom have we given the driving seat of our car? Is it the mind or is it the buddhi? Most of us have given the driving seat to the mind, and hence we are experiencing a particular way of life. Now, what is the secret of turning our mind towards divinity? What is that key to realize the divinity? As I was introspecting in these lines, I heard some devotees have this aspiration of oneness. God, we want to be one with you. Now, what is this oneness, if one were to think? If you step back and just think for a moment, it is not the eyes that sees, it is the mind which sees through the eyes. My eyes may be open, but if my mind is somewhere else, I'll not be seeing the things right in front of us, which happens to most of us in the class if you're not paying attention. Our ears do not listen. It is the mind which listens through the ears. It is the tongue which is not speaking right now. It is the mind which is speaking through the tongue. If I'm feeling thirsty, if my mind wants water, the mind tells to the right hand, go, reach out to the glass, lift it, and drink. So there is a harmony between my hand and my mind. But if my mind desires to drink water and if my hand does not move in that direction, there is no unity, there is no oneness between this instrument of mind. So actually, to be one with God, you have to be one with His will. The first step towards the oneness of God is to practice His teachings, is to follow His command. Only if your thoughts, if your words, if your action are in sync, are in harmony with the divine teachings, that you will be blessed with the beautiful experience of oneness with divinity. Now, the question is, if it were so easy, why is it that most of us are not experiencing that oneness with our Atma Rama? Now, here is where we have to understand that most of us feel, most of us think that we have faith. We have love for God. Yes, it is a beautiful belief, and we should pray that we should have genuine faith, genuine love towards God. Once, Shirdi Baba was sitting along with his devotees, and Shama and Sathya ji were sitting and pressing Shirdi Baba's feet. And some 4 or 5 devotees came and sat in front of Baba. And they were wondering, why is it that Baba is giving chance to only this select few? They are pressing Baba's feet. They have the good opportunity of staying with Baba, doing his Padaseva. So one of them just raised his hand and said, Baba, we also have faith in you. We also serve you. Then why is it that they are only getting this chance? Don't we deserve this opportunity? Baba smiled and said, come near. You can also do Padaseva. So those 4 and 5 devotees came forward, and they also started pressing Baba's feet. They're very happy. And within 1 minute, with Baba's sankalp, he made the roof of the room shake a little bit. It was as if there was a tremor. And they all thought the roof is going to fall. Immediately, that instant, all those 4 or 5 devotees that had come, they ran out of the room, leaving Baba. And these 2 devotees, Shama and Sathya, they covered Baba like this. Okay. So it is not just faith, it is love also. After some time, of course, those devotees came back, and then Baba asked, what happened to your faith? If you have faith that I am God, that I am divinity, what just happened? So most of us think that we have faith. Most of us think that we have love for God. It is when the situation comes, it is when the test comes. Actually, Swami doesn't need a test because Swami is Antaryami. He knows who is what. But the test is for us to realize at what level we are. So we should pray to God that give us the real faith, the real devotion at His divine lotus feet. And one thing we should always remember, that it is God whom we are praying to. Everything is fair in this universe, in this creation, because our Creator is perfect. And whatever we are seeing from our limited understanding is just one aspect. We do not know the complete picture. If we have this conviction in our heart, we'll not be jealous, we'll not be frustrated, we'll always be happy and contented. Now, talking of obedience, that is trying to experiencing the oneness with the divinity. The first step, yes, is obedience. First, we should make complete effort to follow His teachings. At least we should make complete effort for those who are lucky, whom Swami has given a direct command to do something, to follow it implicitly, without fear. And here is where I'm reminded of a situation where how different today's contemporary thinking has become from the time of Ramayana. For instance, once Ramkatha Rasvaini was being taught in one of the awareness class, and this situation where Lakshmana was torn between the obedience towards Rama and Sita came, where the Lakshmana Rekha incident is there, where Rama told very clearly that 2 days back only Khara and Dushana had come with 14,000 Rakshasas. It is not safe. I will go and get the deer, the golden deer. You stay back and take care of Sita. And Rama left. Lakshmana wanted to go. Brother, I will do it. No, it is not so easy. I'll catch the deer alive. It is not so easy to catch it alive. And Rama left. Because when God plans a situation, it is perfect. Even the best of the best cannot find a fault in it. So Lakshmana is one such example. He's a person who is spotless in character. Even he had to go through the test. So he was standing there, and then they heard the sound, "Oh Lakshmana, oh Sita." Of course, it was Marichi, the deer, who was shouting in Rama's voice. Lakshmana was very calm. He knew nothing can happen to Rama. But then Sita was showing her anxiety that Rama is calling, go and save him. Lakshmana said, "No, mother, you don't have to worry. Nothing can happen to Rama." Then Sita persuaded further, and she started casting aspersion, and to the extent she went to say that, "If you are not going, I will go." And that is when Lakshmana had no choice but to disobey Rama, in the sense he had to leave Sita and come back. That was the type of test that he had to go through. And when this topic came, one of the students in the awareness class told, "Sir, actually, I have a point here. Lakshmana could have drawn the line, Lakshman Rekha, and then he would have told Mother Sita, I am going to Rama, but actually he was concerned, nothing should happen to Sita. So he would have walked a little distance and hid behind a tree, so that if Ravana comes, he would have attacked Ravana and Sita would have been saved." It is pure common sense, isn't it? Now the teacher told, now this may appear to be a pure common sense to all of us, but this concept of telling something and doing something did not exist at that point of time. There was absolute harmony in thought, word, and deed. In no way you can even imagine to think something else, to do something else, and to speak something else. What appears to be a common sense in today's era. So this is the extent to which probably consciously or unconsciously we have drifted in our thinking. But Ramayana, time and again, inspires all of us into the path of idealism. And it reminds us that the greatest secret of achieving the divine sannidhi, the proximity to God, is obedience. Obey the command of the divine. In that lies the highest wisdom of life. And continuously yearn for that Atma Rama to show his presence in your life day in and day out. With this, I conclude my talk. Sai Ram.